Everything you need to know about products and services that can improve your life. This is Experts on Call on CL 650.
And welcome back to the program. I'm Sterling Fox. In studio with us today is Jack McIvers, the Dean of Appliance Sales, Service, and Repair in Vancouver. His customers stay with him year after year, project after project. It's been over 50 years in business at a variety of locations in Vancouver, the latest being 610 Southeast Marine Drive. Jack, what is the McIvers Protection Plan? What's that all about? I want to talk about warranties, and this sounds like kind of a warranty thing.
Well, basically, the way it works is because I choose what I sell in new products, and I have ever since I got started in business, and I've always sold good mechanically made appliances. I never got off on the wild side with TVs in the door and things like that.
Right,
gotcha.
Sure, yeah.
So gimmicks. So what McIvers Protection Plan means, it means that you can trust that I won't pick anything to sell new that's not going to deliver good value to the customer, and you can also trust me on the rebuilt appliances we sell, because I've probably sold more rebuilt appliances in British Columbia than any company, because I can remember this is before the Asian invasion of appliances, where they come in cheap and all that stuff.
Right.
And people says, well, why would I fix that? I can buy a new one. And I said, well, go ahead, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, the business contracted quite a bit in rebuilt appliances. But it's coming back now. The people have had enough of that crap.
Right.
They're saying to themselves, well,
something.
My nice a man of fridge, Jack, is the compressor's noisy. It's 35 years old. What do you think? And I said to him, about $700 will change that.
That would be the cost of replacing the compressor.
That's well, it's more than that. It's a complete replacement of all the working parts.
So a rebuild.
Complete rebuild.
Okay.
Yeah. And how long will it last, Jack? And I say, well, we've had them last 20 years. Because we've been doing it for 50 years. And most of the fridges that we rebuilt back in the 70s and 80s, you see them coming in 15, 20 years old. They still have the main job. We used to change all the heat exchangers so the fridge wouldn't frost back down the back of the wall and run green sulfurous sulfide on the floor. The way I redid them, I redid them so they wouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So the several thousand fridges were put out during that period of time, and a lot of refrigerators were done for co-ops and different places but once this crap came on the scene, that particular job was taken care of by Asian people. They built the fridges, and then they got shipped here, and that cut out all the labor.
You're talking about products that are manufactured in either China or Korea, which is also a popular source of appliances from abroad.
Okay,
right.
So what that did is it kind of killed the market for the rebuilding, because
they were inexpensive.
But they didn't last.
Right.
So a lot of the good fridges that could have lasted 20 years with my formula ended up being thrown out. And now then they were struck on the appliance replacement treadmill. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter what crap you buy.
Right.
It still falls apart.
You talked about customers of yours, and you described them as being not ostentatious people, and they have McIvers rebuilt appliances in their home. They could afford whatever they want, literally.
Absolutely.
And they've got your rebuilt stuff in their house because they want stuff that works.
That's right.
So I'm tweaking on the word ostentatious, because there's an ego thing involved with having the latest, shiniest, whiz-bang, new newfangled stuff in your house. That's, that's trendy.
Yeah,
That's super hot.
And
but so I suspect a lot of younger buyers, Jack, are susceptible to being attracted to that sort of thing, not perhaps realizing that they're not going to last as long as something that you could buy rebuilt. It's not going to look as sexy in your kitchen, but it's going to last at least twice as long.
Yeah, well, that's the conundrum, I guess, about the whole system is the monopoly has it all set up so that they just bulldoze people like me off to the side of the road. But I'm well off enough they can't, because I do what I want.
Well, there's
when I want and how I want.
So not a puppet to the manufacturers, as are some of the larger chains.
They're stuck.
Mm-hmm.
The manufacturers control them totally because they're the suppliers. The suppliers that I have, my washer and dryer supplier, I intend on being the largest seller of those in British Columbia.
This is Hibs, right?
Yes, because they've converted the Hibs washers and dryers over to computer. But because I've been such a big dealer up here, they're going to continue to ship me the timer ones.
Oh, okay.
So I'll still have the best laundry equipment in the world coming, and my first trailer full from the factory comes in September.
Fantastic. I wanted to ask you about warranties. I've said it a couple of times. Just a quick side question. For rebuilt appliances in the store, are they under some kind of warranty as well? A McIvers warranty?
Yes, they're under warranty for a year.
Okay.
And we have very little repair needed on any of the rebuilt appliances we sell. It's just really not much. It's because we test them so carefully.
Do people originally sort of tweak on a rebuilt appliance from maybe the cottage or the place over on the Gulf Islands or the backup unit? And I guess the challenge is to get them to get past that and go, yeah, okay, it'd be great for the cottage, but, it's such a reliable piece of machinery and it does so precisely what it's supposed to do for such a long time. Maybe it'd be smart to have it in the main residence as well.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Talk to me about warranties, Jack. What sort of all these shiny new, and it's all about steel, that stainless steel look.
Well, that's all 1 year warranty.
It's 1 year,
and it's clunk like that. At the end, there's no compromise on the warranties these days.
Okay.
They got your money, and you got their stuff. And when it starts to fail, there's no extended. You can buy extended warranty, but that costs $100 a year.
Right. And what about the Hibs products that you're so proud of, and you have this new old line coming in the fall?
Well,
what sort of warranties?
It's staying the same as we've sold for
more of same on the way for the fall.
Over 40 years.
So what kind of warranty do the Hibs products
They come
with
a 3-year full guarantee, parts and labor. They have a 5-year guarantee on the motors, and they have a 10-year guarantee on the washer transmission.
As compared to a 1 year on everything from most of the other brands, competing brands?
Yeah. I was just going to talk about this situation that happened today. I went to deliver a washer and a dryer and a dishwasher to a new movie that's going to be starting.
Oh, that's right. You contract to all the movie companies, and they're back with a vengeance, aren't they?
And so the lady, I've dealt with her about 5 or 6 times over the past 10 or 12 years, and so she there's a Hibs set that we sold them about 8 or 9 years ago. This one movie, and so she starts talking about. She said, "Oh, I got to get rid of my washing machine. It's a front. Oh no, I said, is it a front load? She says, yes. I says, that means you wash all day, right? She says, yes, disgusting. And it does, then they're not clean. Now this is this morning when I was out there.
Right.
So I said to her, well, she says, well, that one you brought over, that English one, maybe I'll take that one. I says, no. When the movie's finished, you're gonna buy the Hibs. I said, that's got washes way cleaner than any other machine, and it spins faster. So you're gonna have that's the one to buy if you want to buy out of these 8 machines here.
Okay. So what's the advantage to, or why would you advise someone buy a top-loading washer rather than a front-loading washer, which seems to be the more popular style?
Well,
these
for
days?
her, it's the fact that that machine washes more clothes in 30 minutes than the front loads do in an hour and a half. That's why it takes all day. It's an hour and a half per maybe 15 pounds of clothes.
Right.
And she's getting 20 pounds of clothes and done in 30 minutes. And on to the next load, which is an hour for total, for 40 pounds of clothes. So they're very, very good for production, and that means she doesn't have to spend all day doing it. She spends all day on it at home now.
And so the idea is that, and again, I'm trying to remember, because we've had this conversation before, that in addition, because you're just really not a big fan at all of those front-loading washers, are you?
No, and that's because they're computerized, for one thing. The other thing is that they, over in 3 or 4 years, they'll get a really bad smell you can't get out of them, and it contaminates your clothing.
And is that what is
it's rotten slime in the bottom of the washing machine?
And so, can the owner of that machine get in there and clean all that stuff out? So,
there's a drum in the way.
Oh, okay.
It's in the sump underneath it. They don't have strong enough pumps to lift all the water.
And so the top loading washer,
it drains differently. They have a pump that's powerful on the hibs. It'll lift water 9 or 10 feet up in the air. It's so strong.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And they have it strong so it's quick. So it gets rid of the water, gets the spin going, and compacts the time down.
So I'm old enough to remember my mom with the the washing machine with the wringer.
Wringer washer, yeah.
I'm dating myself here, but this is the boomer station. It's okay. Most of us remember mom wringer washer. So, but in those days, you were just I just tweaked on this because you were talking about this woman, and you must have surprised her on the phone when she started talking about the washer and how she was going to try looking at that. And you said, "I bet you wash all day." And she said, "Yeah." It's just, how did you know that? Well, you're the pro, of course, but the point was, when Mom got rid of her wringer washer and got an actual machine, the whole point was to get rid of doing laundry day and reducing it to, a couple of hours.
Sterling, all the old machines from 1950 till 1990, when this nonsense started, all washed properly if it was made in Canada or the United States. If it was top load, it was 30 minutes.
Right.
That was the mark. 35 minutes maybe, whatever. But that's what they were designed to do.
But the point is that precisely that is the fact that this whole development of the product line was all about speed and efficiency and convenience to make relieve the drudgery of laundry day.
Absolutely.
And so now you're talking about brand new, super shiny machines that have brought back the return of laundry day because they don't work particularly well.
Called laundry stagnation, because it's an hour and a half to wash them.
And are dryers in the same situation?
No, dryers are fine. They take 40 minutes or to an hour.
Okay.
All dryers are okay. As I said to her, I said, don't worry about your dryer, but buy that Hibs when it comes available when the movie's over.
Okay. So when you sell stuff to a movie company like this woman you were talking to, do some of your appliances make it into the movies, or do they just use the stuff backstage, so to speak?
Well, there's been some sets that are out there right now that we've supplied.
Okay.
Yeah, they're in the set for the in the rooms. Yeah, they're there. We're not as popular as we used to be because the movie guys have become pretty cheap. And
well, of course, the reason they're all back with a vengeance is because we're 20% off again up in Canada.
But as I said to Karen the other day, there was another movie outfit phoned up, and they said, we want 4 sets of laundry equipment for $2,000. And I said to Karen, phone her back and tell her there's no such thing in this store. These are rebuilt things. They're not half running. So that's the way that ended.
That was the end of that request.
But I don't have to deal with everybody. I mean, the point is that I'm not going to we're not going to spend time rebuilding things properly and then have the attitude that oh well, we'll offer $2,000. Forget it. You come in and pay my prices, or I'm not going to sell them.
Mm-hmm. Jack, we talked a bit about washers and the things that can go wrong, and your concerns about types at the front versus the top loading and that sort of thing. But you've just said dryers are, for the most part, okay. When when something goes wrong with a dryer, what usually is the problem?
Oh, could be a belt. It could be thermostats. If it's the computer, it's probably too expensive.
Okay.
With the newer ones,
but it seems that dryers, just based on your conversation, would be less expensive to fix. Is that the case?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So even if you do have a dryer that's maybe not the very best in the whole wide world, nonetheless, if it's still clunking along for you and something goes wrong, it's smarter to get it fixed than buy a new one?
Yes.
Okay. Not the case with washers, though.
Well, most of the washing machines are just pieces of junk.
And people seem to have a need for buying a set. And, of course, it's aesthetics. They're matching. They have matching stands. They're the same color. They look terrific in the laundry room. But
that goes against my philosophy. We sell a new Hibsch washer to somebody, and you go out and you deliver it to the house and talking to the lady. Now, this lady that I'm talking about, she's about 80, 85. So she says, well, I've got this old Kenmore dryer, Mr. McIver. What do you think? So I turned it on. I listened to it. So now there's an opportunity for me to sell her a new one.
Yep.
But that's not necessarily good for her. That's my philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
Customers' needs and cost effectiveness are more important than me selling a dryer.
And that's why you've been in business for 50 years.
And we'll sell one when it's necessary.
Right.
But let's fix this one.
It's not greed isn't the prime motivator.
No, that's right.
Our guest in studio for this episode of Experts on Call is Vancouver's master of appliance knowledge. Always a treat to have Jack McIver in the house. You can check him out online, too, while we take the break. It's McIvers.biz. And we'll be right back.
This is Experts on Call on CIL 650.